So as the title of this video suggests, we got some really exciting news today from Amazon Game Studios. They have reached an agreement with Middle-earth Enterprises to produce an upcoming MMORPG based on the iconic Lord of the Rings property. Now, of course, being Bilbo BagginsTV, I am very excited to hear this news. I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings Online back in the day. We also play a lot of Amazon Game Studios New World, so seeing those two universes cross over together has me very excited. Now, we're going to check out this link here. I will put a link to it in the description down below as well if you want to check it out. But what I will say is this channel, we're going to be very keenly focused on any upcoming news about the Lord of the Rings MMORPG. So if you guys want to stay in the loop, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. Anytime there's something new out there, we will of course have a video on it. So by clicking the link, we get taken through to Amazon Game Studios website here. They give us a little bit of information on the game. So it is done with Embracer Group, and to my understanding, it is actually Amazon Game Studios that are developing it as well as publishing it as well. So the upcoming game will be an open world MMO adventure in a persistent world set in Middle-earth, featuring the beloved stories of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy. So it seems to imply that this is going to be in the third age as opposed to the second age, which the the Amazon Rings of Power series currently focuses on. The game is in the early stages of production, so I guess we're not gonna get any gameplay this year. Maybe, possibly, maybe an alpha, some beta or something like that, something NDA. With Amazon Games Orange County, makers of the popular open world MMO game New World. So yeah, the Amazon Games Orange County who make New World. So we do have some New World devs working on this one. They are leading the development of the game. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, oh my god, New World, that was such a travesty, keep them away from Lord of the Rings, and I understand where you're coming from, but what I will say is if you guys ever had a chance to check out the original vision of New World before it was an MMO, they kind of like pivoted from having an MMORPG, or they pivoted from having a loot box open world PvP sandbox game into an MMO, and they built it off of like this mess, this just horrible mess of spaghetti code, and tried to make it what it is today. And honestly, I think New World, if you guys actually, I know you guys are gonna hopium or copium in the comments, but the game is actually pretty good. New World is improved a lot these days, so I think it's good to give them a second chance and see what they can actually do here. I do imagine that the original alpha version of New World, but with a Lord of the Rings skin over the top of it, would be incredibly fun to play. But regardless, if you guys want to check out some New World alpha gameplay, I'll link that in the description down below as well. Amazon Games will publish the game globally for PC and console. So the Lord of the Rings MMO is also going to be on console as well. This does seem to be something that they're quite keen for. We can look at some of the other MMOs that they are developing or publishing. Throne and Liberty, for example. In fact, Amazon's got like a huge back catalog now of MMOs. We've got Lost Ark, we've got New World, we've got Throne and Liberty, we have Blue Protocol, now we have the Lord of the Rings MMO as well. I think that's 5 different MMOs that they're currently either developing or publishing, which is pretty insane. Additional details, including launch timing, will be shared at a later date. They do say they're committed to bringing players high-quality games, whether it's through original IPs or long-beloved ones, like the Lord of the Rings, the VP of Amazon Games. So there's a little bit more information here, nothing too important. Down here they say we have the clear ambition to create the highest quality entertainment products for this IP, whether we utilize internal resources or team up with the best industry partners that complement our capabilities. So they are open to outsourcing some work from what we can tell here. We're taking every care to deliver an MMO which will do the justice of the expansive Middle-earth universe and delight players around the world. So the game doesn't have a title yet, but it continues their momentum of publishing and developing lots of MMOs. As we mentioned, they got New World, they got Lost Ark. Upcoming, we also have Throne and Liberty as well, and Blue Protocol from Bandai. Tomb Raider, which I don't think is actually an MMO, but that's another one that they've got under the belt as well. And they also mentioned here, separately, Amazon Studios produces the hit series The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which takes place in the Second Age, and unrelated to this upcoming MMO, which seems to be, as we mentioned, in the Third Age, if it is based off of the book series, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So we do have another article here as well, and again, links to everything in the description down below, but it's a further little look into the development team that is going to be making the Lord of the Rings project. So I do find it interesting here. They say, in a first for Amazon Games, one of its internal studios will lead development for a game based on external IP. So I guess they're saying that it's going to be an internal team, but external IP, whereas previously it was an internal team for an internal IP, aka New World. They say the number one thing about a property like this is that you have to be respectful and authentic. When someone is a fan of Lord of the Rings and sits down and plays the game for the first time, they have to say, this was crafted by a bunch of people who lived in this world just like I do. In my head, they get it. So yeah, we get a bunch of Lord of the Rings Tolkien nerds working on the game by the sounds of it. We understand this world. The people working on this team love these works. We're right there. We're with the fans that we want to make sure it's a game that fans will enjoy. So it does seem like they are going to be hopefully respecting the lore, not making too many changes or tweaks. That was one thing that people were quite critical of the Rings of Power for, just kind of winging it and making up the story, which is always weird because Lord of the Rings is an incredible story told by an incredible storyteller, and yet they were like, oh, we can do better than that. I'm like, no, just, you know, if the works are available there, then stick to the works rather than trying to create something better. You know, I think it's okay to take reference and inspiration, but a lot of the times just trying to rework things and change the story when it's already so good, it just seems a bit of a, I don't know, a bit, what's the word? Big-headed? Something like that. Now, for those of you concerned about New World, have they forgotten about New World with this new MMO? They do say the studio will continue to support New World as it begins to work on the new Lord of the Rings project in earnest. Thankfully, its large team has developed a pragmatic and proven approach to building and sustaining an MMO, and understands how to manage multiple projects in parallel, all while listening to player feedback. Yeah, it's, again, they're just going to have so many MMOs on the go. It's going to be interesting to, you know, see how they handle this one. Don't expect New World 2.0. The team at Orange County is rightfully proud of New World's success and everything the studio has learned about launching and sustaining an MMO along the way, but they're also determined to deliver a truly unique and differentiated experience in this upcoming Lord of the Rings game. So it's not really going to be like New World, from what they're saying here. Not to say the team will be starting entirely from scratch. Players and developers know building an MMO is especially challenging, but they've already have several tried and true technical achievements under its belt. New World has substantial new features in development, and that basis plus new innovations will be providing a compelling environment to create a virtual Middle-earth experience. I wonder if this is going to be the same game engine as New World. I kind of hope that... Oh, I think we might get an answer down here. Let's find out. Down here it says, while New World's Azoth engine will form the foundation of the game, the Orange County studio plans to evolve that engine considerably to deliver something that feels distinct from New World and fitting for the world of Middle-earth. The team has some big plans for the next generation of New World's Azoth engine that will unlock exciting new possibilities for its take on Middle-earth. I'm gonna be honest, this kind of concerns me a little bit. I mean, they do seem to be at grips with New World right now, but one of my biggest takeaways for why New World has so many issues is because the engine that it's built on was just, I don't know, very unstable, and like I say, a lot of spaghetti codes. So they are going to continue to use the same engine for New World, so it is going to have that sort of New World visual to it, unless they heavily modify the engine. We'll have to see. But now, you guys might remember a while ago there was an announcement that Amazon was going to be making a Lord of the Rings MMO. It was actually going to be done with Tencent, and they talk about this a little bit down here. So they say those with long memories may recall that this is not the first time Amazon Game Studios has been involved in plans to build an MMO based on the Lord of the Rings. The first deal, intended as a co-development effort, unfortunately fell through after the success of New World. Amazon Games and Middle-earth Enterprises discussed the idea of a collaboration, agreed that the Orange County studio is the best fit to deliver an MMO based on Tolkien's novels, and signed a new contract. So this is unrelated to what we saw a little while ago. So obviously this is absolutely huge news. As somebody who is a big Lord of the Rings fan myself, I cannot wait to get my hands on this game and to play it. I spent a lot of hours playing Lord of the Rings online, and on that topic, some people might be asking, well, there already is a Lord of the Rings MMO. Why make a new one if the old one exists? In my opinion, Lord of the Rings Online is quite tired. It is its glory days have been and gone, and it doesn't really seem like whoever's currently developing or publishing the game has the best intentions to bring it to the modern age. Now maybe that will change. Maybe this is gonna, you know, fan a flame under their butt, and they're really gonna work hard to try and bring the game into the modern age, but I just can't see it happening personally. So I am excited to see something new here. Also for Amazon Game Studios to prove that, you know, this is not going to be a New World 2.0, and this is going to be something significantly better as a launch product. Again, New World is a good game. It's gotten a lot better. If you don't trust me, just jump in, check it out. Most people probably own a copy of the game. They just haven't got it installed. New World is better, and really excited for this one. So once again, if you guys are interested in more news and more upcoming information about the Lord of the Rings MMO being made by Amazon Game Studios, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. We'll have any new information when we get it. We'll have a video on it here. And as always, go ahead, click the like button if you enjoyed this one. All right, I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.